everybody again. What do we have here? We have something I picked up at Harbor Freight that I'm going to try. I do have a bed liner through in here so that kind of protects the bed. What I've been doing, you can see, I've been hauling some rock. And the reason for that is, of course, y'all know I live up a creek. And when you live up a creek and it rains, the water washes out the rocks that you had just like last week put in. So you have to go get some more rocks, and you got to put some more rocks in the same holes. And sometimes I want to, like in through here, I want to put a layer of gravel. And it would be nice to be able to kind of tailgate it. And this right here is a cargo unloader from Harbor Freight. And what it is, it's a sheet of some type of material. Instead of just talking about it and looking at it, let's just open this sucker up and see what it is. And that looks very simple. Okay, it is a rod. Not an especially thick or heavy duty rod, but it has this type of material which reminds me of a trampoline. If any of y'all have had a trampoline as kids, or you have one for your kids, that seems like the same type of material. These mount on the tailgate. What we're going to do is we're going to try this thing out. And it looks like all it does is just straps onto your tailgate. And it is supposed to have a strap that goes, I'll have to read the directions, but it's supposed to have a strap that goes down to your bumper and actually hooks on the bumper so that when you start cranking, it doesn't pick the tailgate up. We're going to have to try to put this thing together and go get us a load of rock and see how it works. Okay, well, some of these rocks off here. I have the load handler thing from Harbor Freight strapped onto Old Green's tailgate. As you can see, it just goes down under the tailgate and wraps around the tailgate, of course. And then what you do, got these Velcro straps that goes around it. And it pulls out. And it lays down in the bed of the truck. Okay, and I guess with the side boxes, I guess Old Green is a little narrower. You can tell these kind of ride up on the fender wells. Because remember, I have toolboxes in the sides, so it takes up a little bit of room. I've got this bed liner thrown in here so that this piece of material has something to slide on. Because it can't be just on bare metal, or it shouldn't be on bare metal or wood, or it can't be like put on like a non-slip bed liner. Now this is a slick bed liner, so that's why this is in here. I'm actually going to go ahead and throw my spare back in. I'm just going to get a few rocks, and this will hold the front of this little tarp thing down so that it don't try to go nowhere. Okay, now we need something to pick up some rocks with. we're testing it, we might as well test it, right? So let's not be gentle with it. Now I'm going to put these in the toolbox. And do I have a ratchet strap? I do, but not in there. Now I tried this strap that goes down to the bumper from right here, and I don't like it. So I'm gonna get a ratchet strap. Okay, so we got us a ratchet strap. It usually goes on, that's where the connection for it is. I'm gonna put it on this side. I think maybe this is the side I was supposed to put that thing on, but it doesn't matter because this way I'm using my own strap. I'm gonna hook it in one of these holes. That way it doesn't try to lift up. And one thing I'm going to have to do is, I guess, stick this up under this bed liner. Alright. Yeah, even without the handle, I can move that tire. I don't want to pull it too far. Why don't we go try to find us some rocks to fill in some holes. I mean, all y'all know I live up a creek, so a whole lot of the time when it rains or just traffic driving over the same spot over and over, you end up with holes that form in the road, you know, I mean, in where you drive. So let's just see if we throw some rocks on this, how easy does it make it to actually unload? Let's give this a try. So, don't have a bad load. It's I really don't want to load her down too much because it's supposed to rain here a little bit. I don't want to be caught in the rain unloading, so I don't think it'll be any problem. It should be pretty easy to unload. But let's go find us some holes to fill in. So right in this area, I'm kind of wanting to feather this out a little bit more. Let's just see what this thing does. I can see I can't go all the way around with the handle. I can see one problem with this, but it's not hard at all. And admittedly, I don't have a whole lot on here, but it's not cranking hard at all. I mean, grab it with 2 fingers. It's not hard. The only aggravation is having to take the handle out every time, which if I was on level ground I wouldn't have to do, but we're going downhill into the creek. But yeah, so far I like it. Okay, before I crank any more, pull her up some. Well, it'll pack in. That's a lot smoother. That will help. Now we got a couple more. All right, so here's another problem spot. This washes out pretty often. So I do like this thing. Like I said, I'm not cranking on it hard. 2 fingers. 1 finger. I like it. Okay, now let me go get my rake. Okay. So what do I think about the Harbor Freight truck unloader or load handler or whatever you want to call it? I like it because it does save from having to scoop stuff out of your truck or even climbing up in your truck. You don't even have to get in there. Just get where you want the load at, crank it, and there it goes. It's well worth 30 bucks I paid for it. Now, that being said, this won't be the last time you'll see this. And next time you see it, it won't be in the same configuration it will right now. Y'all I know I've seen big trucks tailgating rock. I have an idea as to how I can make this Harbor Freight truck unloader thing work for that. I'll come back to that in a later video. As for my review on the Harbor Freight truck unloader thingy, I do like it. It works good for what it is. I mean, you can crank out your load of whatever you got without breaking your back. I mean, you can see I didn't have a huge load on there, but I mean, I had a pretty decent amount of rock, and I was taking 2 fingers and pushing that handle, and it was nothing. It does good as long as you have something slick for it to slide on. That's the key. If you got a plastic bed liner that you can throw in like I did, but if you can throw a bed liner in there or even a tarp over top of your bed and make a slick surface for that to slide on, that stuff will come right out. But I guess that's my review. I do like it. I will improve on it, but I do like it. I would recommend, if you needed to unload stuff pretty often, I'd recommend it. But anyway, I guess that's probably going to about do this video. Appreciate everybody watching, and I'll see y'all on the next one.